Welcome once again to another episode of the Random Access Podcast, brought to you by rapodcast.net. This is episode 802, recorded live on August 3rd, 2024. And here are your hosts, the man who is going to be moving longitudinally this week, Dave Pillay.
Hello.
And the man who's going to be changing latitudinally, Andy Lowe. Hi.
I mean, I guess I'm also changing latitude for what it's worth. But
yeah, all right, hold on. I keep on forgetting. Are you up? Where are you latitude-wise?
Latitude-wise, I'm at Grand
you're up by Grand Rapids. Okay. Yeah, so you are going to be going.
Yeah, but also, like, I have to drive down around Chicago.
In order to go up.
Also, I'm going to Ann Arbor next week.
Well, that's down, and then
That's another latitude shift.
Yep.
We go from Madison to Ann Arbor to Manistee to Ann Arbor to Madison.
You got a lot going on there.
It adds a bit of time to the trip.
Yep.
But we will not be recording next week because we will be at a cabin. I guess we could record.
Do you really want to record?
No, I want to enjoy the cabin and the lakeside and what Manistee has to offer.
Mm-hmm. So no, I don't want to bring all this recording equipment.
Oh no, I thought we'd go back like old school, like we'd just bring a headset.
I think I still have the headset here. Hold on.
I definitely don't.
Yep. I've still got the Plantronics headset in. Oh shoot! How did I do that? Somehow I got my phone cord caught in the door. Hold on. I want to use my phone. There we go. Okay.
Welcome back, Andy.
Thank you. Somehow when I shut the door, the phone charger cord got like tangled up in the door. No idea how that happened, but it's fixed now.
Okay.
But that whole driving south in order to go north kind of reminds me when we drove out to Seattle.
I could drive north to go north. I then would have to curve back down south quite a ways.
You'd have to drive north, and then you would have to drive south.
Yeah, and cross the Mackinac Bridge.
Oh.
Which is free in one direction, I think.
I know I've been on the Mackinac Bridge.
Like, isn't there a toll for one direction?
No, I think there's a toll both ways.
Mackinac Bridge Authority.
Toll schedules.
It looks like you only pay on the north side, regardless of which direction you're going.
Mm-hmm.
It's technically part of I-75.
At least there's a bridge there. Before, it was a ferry to go across.
Yep. It's a big bridge, too. It's like a couple miles long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know about the Labor Day walk there, right?
Nope.
Oh, Labor Day. Every year, they do a Mackinac Bridge walk.
Cool. That's pretty neat. Oh, yeah, there it is. Annual bridge walk.
Yep.
Awesome. I hope they have a good time. We haven't talked about the tolls, though. How much is the toll?
$2.
Oh, that's nothing.
Oh, sorry. $2 per axle.
So $4.
$4, yes.
Ooh. What? Wait, is a motorcycle still considered two axles?
I don't know.
It should. It is indeed two axles. If I want to unicycle across the Mackinac Bridge, do I only pay $2?
Well, truck regulations, oversized vehicles, no. Oh, actually, Dave.
Yeah.
It seems there was a law, Public Acts 1952, Section 12, number 214 says that there will be no free use of the bridge shall be permitted. So you must pay a toll, it seems, since 1952.
Okay, that was not under contention. I was asking if I unicycle across, is that one axle versus two?
It's gotta be one.
Because a unicycle only, like a unicycle only is one axle. Is a motorcycle two axles?
Let's see. You're probably not the first one. How much does it cost for a motorcycle to cross the Mackinac Bridge? That's just the passenger vehicle.
They call them super scooter.
Harley Davidson forums says, don't do it on a windy day.
Because he's just going to get pushed off the bridge. I wonder how many motorcycle wipeouts there are.
Oh, especially since it's great and there's not actually, solid. Or is there a solid lane and part of the lane is graded?
What?
Grates. Like is it solid the whole way across or no?
Like the edge of the bridge?
Well, I thought part of the bridge has it's like a mesh. I swear it's a mesh. Can Google Maps get me a good enough view of the Mackinac Bridge?
The pictures people have taken from the bridge can.
Oh, okay. So it looks like the inside lane is mesh and the outside is concrete. So if you would want to stay on the concrete side too, because that mesh would make it super. Yeah, that would be a very bumpy ride.
It's a very pretty bridge. But damn, it's a long bridge.
All these people talking about riding it, but nobody says how much it costs them.
So, hi, Andy. I'm definitely looking forward to Manistee next week.
Me too. It's going to be a very busy week this week, though. So, because Tuesday is the primaries here in Michigan.
Ooh, wait. State primaries?
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. Pretty sure the Democratic National Convention just did their unofficial convention. Unofficial convention.
The presidential primaries were paid for by the state committees. So that was just presidential primaries.
Okay.
This one is for all of the state offices. And this is run by the state, not by the political parties.
Right.
So yeah, the Senate primaries, House primaries, all that stuff. Sheriff, judges, those are going to be on this primary, which is going to be super fun because both the Democrat and the Republican primary are on the same ballot.
But you only fill in one.
Yes.
But a lot of people are going to fill in both.
Yes.
Because people don't realize that you can't fill in both.
Yes, even though we tell them, hey, if you're going to vote,
one.
Yeah, if you're going to, you can either pick Republican or Democrat. I think the Democrats the left column this year, Republicans the center column, the right column is the nonpartisan things like the school millage, that sort of stuff. So you got to explain to people, okay, you do this column, not this column, and then this column. And don't forget, there's also stuff on the back as well.
Which you can do no matter what.
No, because there's still 3 columns on the back.
Oh, they continue on to the back.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, so I did the first column on the front, but I did the second column on the back, and I did the third column on both sides.
Oh, you're giving me PTSD already, and it hasn't even happened yet.
Pre-traumatic stress disorder?
No, I did the last primary. Not sure. Did I do the presidential primary? No, I didn't do the presidential primary. I was up in Muskegon when that went down. I did one of the primaries, and yeah, there were people who just, for the life of me, could not understand. Just stay in your lane. Speaking of bridges, stay in your lane. I even asked because we did the election training last week, or was it the week before? No, last week. I'm like, can't we just get a sample ballot and just color code the columns so people can visually see, oh, red means I do these ones. This one is blue.
Andy, do you honestly think that would help?
Well, it turns out it's actually against the law.
Oh, wow.
The election officials are not, the sample ballots are stated in the state law of how they are supposed to be presented. And there is no modification to that allowed. So you would have to get a law passed to allow color coding.
I mean, I feel like the actual ballot should be color coded.
Yeah.
As well as the choices. So unlike the state proposals, it's a yes or no. And so one of them is coded blue and one is coded red.
The best that we've gotten so far is a couple of the precincts have multiple school districts in them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there's a school millage on there.
Yes.
But that's only for the people who, are in the school district. If you're not in the school district, you don't get that millage. So they have color-coded the ballot numbers. So all the ballot numbers for all the normal ones are green, and all those odd cases have all been color-coded as red. So when we're writing down the ballot numbers, we can look at it and go, okay, no, this is not the right pile. Don't take this one.
Oh my God, good luck.
Yeah. At least I can say, though, that the absentee ballots, the last time it was people, not staying in their lane, and it's the amount of people who would come in with an absentee ballot in their hands going, what am I supposed to do with this? And we're like, well, normally we had to have them fill out a thing there, and they could do like another ballot in person, and they could spoil their absentee ballot or, take it to City Hall, blah, blah, blah. This year we can actually process the absentee ballots at the polling station.
Ooh. That's useful.
Yeah, I know. Part of me was actually because if I mess up in person, the voting box will literally yell at me and say, hey, you did this wrong. Go fix it. If I do it wrong absentee ballot wise here in Michigan, my vote, if I remember correctly, will not count for those sections that are messed up, and I will have no real recourse to fix it. Because by the time my absentee ballot is fed into the tallying machine, the any sort of identification number has been already removed at that point. So there is no way for me or for anybody to know whose ballot that is that was incorrect. So it's one of those things.
So what I'm hearing you say is it's going to be a stolen election.
Oh, God.
You heard it here, folks.
I'm glaring at you so hard right now through the computer monitor.
I can't see that, so it has zero effect on me. Just wait
until 1 week from right now. Yeah, 1 week from right now. Yeah, actually, yeah.
I mean, in a week from now, we will both be up in Manistee.
Yes.
Are you going to be awake?
At 11:30? Probably.
Okay.
We'll see how the whole drive up goes.
Yep.
We'll see. Let's see. So we got to go up. We got to get the turkey. Kate was measuring spikes on a pan.
Yep.
Why was she measuring spikes on a? Why does the pan have spikes?
So that's a carving board. The carving board that I bring up has spikes. And I was going to bring it up this year, and Kate was like, let's just get one and leave it there. What needs to be on it? And I'm like, well, it has spikes and it has channels. And that's kind of all I know. So she's been sending me pictures of like different carving boards. And I'm like, I have no idea. And she's like, okay. And so then she asked me today, how tall are the spikes? And I'm like, So I text my dad, because that's where the carving board is, and I say, hey, how tall are the spikes on the carving board? And he's like, he's like, I will go check, because he doesn't know either. They are 5/8 of an inch tall. But here's the thing. I don't know if that's a good size. I don't know if smaller spikes works out. They're spikes. I don't know that they're strictly necessary. It's just that's what I've always had and always done.
You see, I didn't even know that was a thing. I just thought you just put it on a cutting board. And some of the cutting boards have like, a little channel around the outside.
Yeah, but it's nice when there is a spike there because it like keeps the turkey there.
You've impaled your turkey on your carving board?
Yeah. Which night are we doing the turkey dinner?
I don't know. We got to figure that out.
We should figure that out. We should definitely figure that out.
Yes, because we probably want to do it because that turkey would have to then live in the refrigerator.
Yep.
And I don't want our refrigerator taken up by
a turkey.
It's
probably Sunday.
Probably.
Monday at the latest.
Yes. Oh, wow. These are carving boards with spikes. Wow. Some of these spikes are vicious looking. They don't say how big the spikes are.
Right?
I don't know. All right. I've learned something new.
That some carving boards have spikes in them?
Yeah. Well, should we hit actual topics?
Sure. I added some.
Wait, what?
I added topics.
All right, hold on.
Oh, also, I'm planning on bringing College Football 25.
Okay.
Should I bring a second controller?
Sure.
Okay.
Trying to figure out what games to bring up as well. I've got Pokemon headbands. Have you ever heard of that?
We talked about it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, we did? Okay. I can't remember anymore.
Where it's just like blend. It's a Pokemon and you have to guess the other people to give you hints to guess what it is.
Yes, that's the one. Yes. So we did already talk about that.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a great game.
Yep.
Because a lot of us know a lot of Pokemon.
And there's some of us who know about 40.
You know more than 40.
I'm going through the visual encyclopedia with Isaac, so we're up to G now, and they're
in alphabetical order?
They're in alphabetical order.
Oh, God. But then the evolutions aren't next to each other.
Some are, actually.
Yes, some are. Dunsparce and Dunsparce are going to be next to each other.
Yep.
But like
Duo and do Trio, those were right next to each other.
Duo and Trio, and then Diglett and Dig Trio. So yeah, Duo and Trio would be next to each other. But like most of them aren't.
Yep.
They're only going to be next to each other if they played with the name as part of it.
What's really fun was when you actually get all three evolutions right next to each other. There was one, I think it was all three of them, but they were in like the wrong order alphabetically. So they were like
Machamp,
if you put them,
Machoke, and Machop.
I don't know. I'm not to the M's yet.
Oh, you're not to the M's, yeah.
But then I'm also like learning about the difference between mythical Pokemon, legendary Pokemon, and then Ultra Beasts.
Ultra Beasts. Yep.
Yes. I'm like, I don't know these things. I'm like,
well, but that's the whole thing that just happened in Pokemon Go. There was an Ultra Beast event.
I know, and Kate got some guy that looks like, well, Kate and Isaac got some guy that looks like a ice cream pop.
Yep.
Blastafon or Blast.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's the one that looks like origami paper. And there's the one that looks like actually there's like two that look like big bugs.
It's one that looks like a spaceship. Or is that a legendary?
That looks like a spaceship?
I swear there's one that looks like a spaceship.
Are you talking about Cosmog? Or its evolution?
Celesteela? Yeah.
Is a legendary.
Oh.
Just wait, folks, until Andy learns about pseudo-legendaries.
Isaac says that, and I don't know what it means. He's done that a couple of times where I've talked about Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh yeah, that's a pseudo-legendary. And I'm like, what the... What is he talking about?
So, Dragonite...
Yes, is an adorable dragon Pokemon.
Well, Dratini is an adorable dragon Pokemon,
yes.
Which evolves into Dragonair, which evolves into Dragonite, which happens to be in the Pokedex immediately before Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Very similar to Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar, or Gumi and its evolutions, or Frigibax and its evolutions. These are referred to as the pseudo-legendary Pokemon because they are very, very strong, but aren't technically legendary.
Okay.
So, Dratini, Larvitar, Bagon, Beldum, Gible, Dino, Gumi, Jangmo-o, and Frigibax, and Dreepy, which hasn't been released in, or maybe it has been released in Go yet. No, I don't think we have most Gen 8 stuff in Go yet, do we? Dreepy and Dragapult? Anyway, they're the strongest non-legendaries.
So they're considered pseudo-legendary. Okay.
Yeah. They have 600 stats, base stats.
Those are some high base stats.
And like each one has a different highest. So they're spread across the various stat points. But yeah, they're all very strong.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dragonite's stats right now.
Mm-hmm. They also they level up very slowly. It takes a lot of XP to get them to level up. It takes a lot of XP to get them to evolve.
I think I might have you just randomly start going through my Pokedex while I'm up there, just to help me clean this Pokedex up a bit.
The Pokedex or your like active Pokemon?
My active Pokemon, sorry.
Your box.
My box, yeah. Because I have 1,133 Pokemon, and I know there's so many that I could probably get rid of.
I think I just transferred that many the other day. Andy, we've talked about this. It depends on your goal.
I know.
Do you want a living Pokedex, or do you want to be able to just, like, have enough to do raids?
I don't know. I've got the space, so I might as well use the space if I've got it.
Sure.
But I don't know. My first thing right now is just I've got... I finally found the most of the search parameters for and like the they wouldn't be wild card characters, would they be Boolean characters like the and sign and the at sign? And
I mean the and is a Boolean operator.
Okay,
sure.
The at sign though, would that what would you call the at sign?
A modifier.
Okay,
because the at is when you want to search for things with certain moves.
Yes,
so it's not really a operator, it's more of just a modifier.
But yes, also being able to search for, a Pokemon and everything in its evolution chain at the same time.
I mean, isn't there a button that just says
yes, there is
evolutions?
Yeah, but there's also search parameter stuff for that as well. I just look at it, and it's part of me. It's just like it's just like you look at your dirty room, and you're just like, ugh, I don't have
clean this up.
I don't have the energy to clean this up. I know I need to clean this up, but I'll just pay 200 more Poke coins. Just kick the can down the road.
That only works up to a point.
I know at some point I'm going to hit the max limit, but that's probably going to be a while.
Goes faster than you think.
What is the max limit?
I don't know. I could go look at Laura's thing.
Maximum possible size Pokemon storage is 8,300.
Dang, they've been adding more.
Yep. Bag capacity is at 7,300.
Well, I have 3,900 slots for Pokemon and 2,900 bag.
Yeah, my bag is at like 600. It's because I keep using things in my bag. Except there's probably I think I've got 67 rare candy that I don't know what to use it on, so I just don't use it.
That's adorable. I have 828 rare candies. And I'm in a very similar position of I don't know what to use it for, so it just sits there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know rare candies in the game are the worst way to level up a Pokemon?
Really?
Because they don't get any EVs during that time, so they don't level up their stats. So a Pokemon leveled up by rare candies will be worse in stats than a Pokemon that leveled up by combat.
But that's in the regular game.
Yes, it has nothing to do with Pokemon Go. There are no EVs in Pokemon Go.
No, I was going to say, as soon as you started talking EVs, and wait a second, no, you're talking the gens. Okay. Well, speaking of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Actual topics.
Yes, Nintendo had their earnings report just recently. And for the quarter ending on June 30th, Nintendo posted a net profit of 80.9 billion yen, which is higher than it forecasted, but it is over 50% lower than the same period last year.
And that is because?
Well, because there was no Legends of Zelda game getting released.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Super Mario Brothers movie out. And their hardware sales, the company said it only sold 2.1 million Switches for the quarter, which is a 46.3% decline year on year. So I'm guessing everybody who wants to buy a Switch right now is just waiting for whatever Nintendo wants to talk about with the Switch 2 or Switch Pro or whatever they're going to call it. Switch 2 probably is what they'll call it.
I mean, they might call it the Switch 2. The thing is, they haven't had a 2 console.
Yeah, because even the Wii U
was not Wii 2, it was the Wii U. It was also the most poorly handled console release at Nintendo.
Yes.
We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
When you and I didn't even know whether or not the Wii U was a separate console. So I don't know if they're going to call it the Wii 2. That would be really weird for them to call it the Wii 2, or not the Wii 2, the Switch 2, because they haven't had a 2 ever before.
So, do you think they're going to... Because the original Switch was announced in October and came out in March. Do you think they would do something in October this year if they're saying that it's going to be released first quarter of 25?
They might announce it.
But yeah, right now Nintendo is not looking good.
As an investor in Nintendo, I'm not worried.
Things are down, but yet no, there's definitely something big on the horizon, and I think a lot of people are just waiting for the shoe to drop. Are you invested in Intel at all, or no?
I don't think I directly have any Intel stock.
Oh, because right now Intel announced that they are downsizing its workforce by over 15% as part of a $10 billion cost savings plan for next year.
That is a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Company currently employs over 125 workers, so 15% of that could be as many as 19,000 people.
Their stock dropped by a third.
Well, the company also just reported a loss of $1.6 billion for the quarter.
Jesus.
which was way more than the $437 million it lost the quarter before. They are
hurting.
Yes.
They are hurting bad.
And they don't seem to, you see things like, AMD and NVIDIA are, able to ride that AI wave, but Intel is, when you talk about AI chips, I don't hear anybody talking about Intel chips.
No, because it's not that kind of CPU.
No.
Damn. Intel, what the hell? Not to mention, Intel CPUs are also burning down.
Wait, what?
Yeah. There's a issue with Intel's 13th and 14th gen processors.
Oh, no.
Where if you have it plugged into a power supply that is more powerful than, I think it's like a 65 watt or something, which is not very strong.
No, not at all.
The chip might burn part of itself out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And they don't have a fix for it for like another 2 months.
What? Oh my goodness, that is not good.
Nope.
We have determined that elevated operating voltage is causing instability issues in some of the desktop processors. Elevated operating voltage is stemming from a microcode algorithm resulting in incorrect voltage requests to the processor. Oof. They misprogrammed the processor from the start.
Yeah, and the fact that it's microcode is like, you're not fixing this with an OS update.
No. Oh boy. Oh, things are not good over at Intel.
Nope. Might be why their stock is down 33%.
Well, it says here, I'm looking at some of their earnings report, almost all the losses this quarter and last quarter came from the chip maker's foundry business, which is basically investing in new factories and new chip making stuff.
That's nice. So they're probably taking advantage of the various tax breaks for new silicon factories.
Yeah, the company is set to receive up to $8.5 billion in the U.S. government from the CHIPS Act.
Yep.
But still, that's $8.5 billion at some point in the future, and you've already burned, $2 billion of that already over the last 2 quarters. Oh, geez, $7 billion in operating losses in 2023, and another $2.8 billion so far this year.
Jeez.
So yes, they're going to get some money from the government, but ooh boy, I can see why they want to try cutting costs until that happens.
Laying off 15% of your workforce, though, that's hard to do.
Yes,
like especially if you're building factories.
Yes. It looks like, though, that their revenue was down just 1% year over year. So it's not like they're not making money. It looks like they're just spending
lots. Which is good. That's a sign of investing in the future. Cutting your workforce by 15%. Not sure that's preparing for the future in a great way.
Yeah. We'll have to see what comes out of that. Probably not good. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I need to get a new computer. Probably not going to get an Intel chip now.
Or not a 13th or 14th gen Intel chip.
Yeah, not a 13th or 14th.
I mean, the 12th gen are probably pretty cheap.
Ooh, that's true. Okay, so let's see. 12th gen into God, did chip naming always be this complicated?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Cuz I'm looking at the i9. I'm like, "But wait, which version of the i9 is it?"
Right.
I feel like, this was easier back in the Pentium days. Or is that just
Pentium 2 and Pentium 3?
Yeah, and Pentium 4.
I think it was still the same issue though.
Yeah, no, I'll have to see about 12th gen chips. But part of me is like, oh, do I have the time to actually research and build?
Just buy a computer, Andy.
Yeah, no, I might just buy a box.
Just buy a pre-made computer.
Back to school is showing up, but those are all probably going to be laptops, aren't they?
Yep.
Dang it. I don't need a laptop.
Do you really need a desktop?
Do you know my desktop that I'm currently using is actually a laptop that I've got sitting up on a couple of Coke 20-ouncer bottle caps plugged into a hub with all of my USB stuff.
So, again, do you really need a desktop?
No, I don't really need a desktop.
Okay.
Are desktops still cheaper than laptops or no?
I mean, I haven't had to buy a computer in 10 years.
Oh, I've got those two Dell boxes downstairs. I got to go see what versions those are.
I mean, I've got computers in the basement if you want them.
No, I bought two. One of them is currently a Minecraft Linux server, but that's easy to fix. I think the other one's got Windows on it, though. I'll have to go see what version it is because we needed... I was testing out using a Google... What was I trying to do? I was trying to use the Chrome OS on the Linux box. And it wasn't working right with the software, so I went and bought one from the university that was a Windows box. But that was literally 3 weeks before I left for the new job. So I never got around to actually submitting the paperwork to get reimbursed. So it was my computer, so I just took it home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've got an actual Windows desktop downstairs. It's a mini factor, but I'll have to see what that can do. See if there's room for a graphics card in there or not.
Yeesh.
I could just go old school and just cut a hole in the case.
And just put a ribbon in.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, but also, what are you using your graphics card for, Andy?
Well, there was some other games that I was trying to play.
Really?
Yes, there was. I was trying to play earlier today. One of the games I picked up from the Epic Game Store, called Electrician Simulator.
Okay.
I was curious about it. I downloaded it, started to try and run it, and my laptop just said no. I heard half a second of audio, and then the little blue circle started to spin, and I'm just like, okay, you are choking on this.
Yep.
You are not going to let me play it. So I started playing another one about donuts, which I'll talk about in, 2 weeks once I get more chance to play it.
Okay.
So should we talk about space news?
Space news.
Because
are the astronauts back yet?
No, they are not.
When does the next thing get up there?
That is an excellent question. When did they because they said last week they were trying to figure out when they needed to get them to return by.
Well, this article is saying that they actually might come back on Dragon.
Yes, which NASA is not saying that, but everybody keeps saying, NASA said, oh yeah, we're going to come back with the decision on this. And then they delayed that decision, put out a vague update.
Look, they can't risk it with live flight, right? Like, there we are. SpaceX has been actively working on a scenario in which 2 or 4 astronauts launch on board Crew 9. SpaceX has already identified flight suits that would fit the astronauts that are up there.
NASA issued a $266,678 award to SpaceX on July 14th for a special study for emergency response. NASA specifically said that the study was not directly related to Starliner, but sources told people that it really was.
God, the people out at Boeing have to be just slamming their heads against the wall.
This contract is a special study for emergency response awarded to Space Exploration Technology Corp, SpaceX, by the Kennedy Space Center. Was awarded on July 15th, completed date of August 15th.
Those are some very specific dates. Oh my God, someone at Boeing is just like, fuck.
And I love somebody was it Boeing that announced it during their earnings call that Starliner has already cost twice as much as Dragon. Company's total losses on Starliner have now reached $1.6 billion.
Nationalize SpaceX. Just fucking do it. Just nationalize SpaceX. This picture, though, from the ISS of, like, northern Africa and the Nile and, like, Egypt is a really cool picture.
Oh, it is the Nile, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta turn my head upside down.
Yes. The Sinai Peninsula is what did it for me. I'm like, I know that shape.
There's not many
I can
triangles.
place that on the world.
Yep.
And there's a big ass river right next to it. With like a huge delta.
That massive delta.
Which apparently is all like cities and vegetation. Huh. The more you know.
Yep. But still, man. Okay, so question is.
Yeah.
NASA decides not to risk their astronauts.
Yeah.
Sends them home on SpaceX. Starliner makes it back to Earth autonomously.
Okay.
Already lost $1.6 billion on this.
Yeah.
And they will still have to do
follow-ups.
Yes. They would still have to do a new crew test flight mission before they even go to the next level.
Yep.
When does Boeing... Do you think Boeing will ever throw in the towel or no? Because it's a fixed cost thing, so they can't get any more money from NASA for this. Whatever they're paying now, they're paying out of their own pockets. And
they can't end the program. They can't end the program. For them to end the program and be like, yep, space is too hard for us. Like,
yeah, that their stock would fall to Earth
faster than their Starliner.
Than their Starliner, yep.
They can't just like give up.
They would have to, they'd have to do another one and then redo the crew test flight. And oof. I do have to say though, it's having this be a fixed cost thing, unlike the SLS. We're not on the hook for Boeing not being able to get the work done. So it's not as it could be worse.
It could be worse. It could be government money from the taxpayers
paying for the SLS, which, yeah.
I mean, we're paying for Artemis.
Yeah, that's true.
We're also paying for SpaceX for what it's worth.
Yes, because they've been awarded for the lander mission.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of SpaceX, two things of note. The first is that SpaceX is in talks with Australia to help with Starship recovery.
Interesting.
Because right now, they made their splashdown in the Indian Ocean. And they're planning on doing that again, but they're trying to get permission from Australia and from the U.S. government, because the U.S. government has export laws on what space technologies can be actually bound for and in Australia. So they landed, if they could land it in the ocean near Australia and then, or land it on Australia, that would make recovery a lot easier.
Yeah.
But right now they can land it in the Indian Ocean in international waters, but they can't actually bring it to land in Australia because of the current laws. So SpaceX is trying to get it so they could actually land and do test landings in Australia.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Yes. Which Australia is all for, because there's a group, what's the group called? The AUKUS Security Alliance?
AUKUS Security Alliance?
AUKUS, the Trilateral Security Partnership between Australia, United Kingdom, and US. Oh, so AUKUS.
Okay.
So they're trying to get a security thing there to counteract China. And this, getting SpaceX to do stuff there. And then you get the Department of Defense with SpaceX and Starship doing their thing that we don't really know what they're doing, but the DoD would love to have rapid delivery of, how many 100 tons can Starship hold?
A lot. A lot, especially when you just a lot.
Yep. So yes, SpaceX is trying to get into Australia.
Okay.
And then closer to home, they had put in a request to the FAA to increase the flights at Starbase. Because the current flight license gives them 5 launches. Mm-hmm. SpaceX in June 2022 received approval to conduct up to 5 Starship launches from South Texas. I think it's annually. But
that would make sense.
Yes. So they put a new request in to have up to 25 flights a year from South Texas. And this isn't the final word, but the FAA just released their draft environmental assessment for the increased cadence, and they said that the FAA has concluded that the modification of SpaceX's existing operator license conforms to the prior environmental documentation consistent with the data contained in the 2022 final environmental assessment, that there are no significant environmental changes and all pertinent conditions and requirements of the prior approval have been met or will be met in the current action. So the environmental assessment says that, hey, not much has changed between 2022 and this new request for a higher cadence. So starting out, we think it should be okay. I know. The difference between 5 and 25 is a factor of 5.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that might be a pretty sizable impact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So they asked for 25 annual launches and 50 total landings, 25 for Starship and 25 for Super Heavy because, there's 2 parts that land. It's also seeking to conduct up to 90 seconds of daytime Starship static fire tests and 70 seconds of daytime Super Heavy static fire tests a year. That's actually a lot because their static fires aren't that long. They're only about, 6-7 seconds each static fire?
Yeah. Probably upwards of 20 seconds.
But anyway, this is step 3 of 7 before the final determination. And up next, they have public comments and public meetings. So we'll see what comes of that. But the FAA...
people who live in Boca Chica are going to be like, no, thank you.
5, sure, but 25, that's 1 every 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a Starship launch every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we'll see what it ends up being, but right now the FAA has given their preliminary rubber stamp on it. So that ball is starting to roll.
Okay.
Surprising thing, no Mario and Sonic game this year for the Olympics.
Is that a thing that they've done? Is every Olympics they've released the Mario and Sonic Olympics?
Over the past 20 years, 6 Mario and Sonic Olympic games have been launched. Beginning in 2007, there was a tie-in with London, with Rio, and with Tokyo, and as well as Vancouver and Sochi for the Winter Olympics.
Huh. So who is saying no to this?
The IOC said that they were not going to extend the contract or the licensing deal with Nintendo and Sega, allowing it to lapse in 2020.
So it was the IOC.
Yes, the IOC after Tokyo said, you know what, I think we're done with Mario and Sonic.
I mean, Tokyo would have been the one to go out on.
Yep. One of the people who worked on almost every entry in the series told Eurogamer they wanted to look at other partners. They wanted to bring it back to themselves internally and look at NFTs and esports.
Dumb.
Oh, I was wondering what they were doing, and then you hear NFTs, and you're like, oh,
someone some crypto bro got a hold of them.
So yes, there actually is a video game for Paris called Olympics Go Paris 2024. Olympics Go ! Paris 2024.
Olympics Go!
Yes.
Paris 2024.
A free-to-play smartphone-focused effort from a company who previously developed several Power Rangers games. You can complete in 12 Olympic sports such as archery, gymnastics, 100-meter athletics, swimming, and golf.
And if you do really, really well, you get recruited to be a member of the Power Rangers.
If you do really well, you can get the officially licensed commemorative Paris 2024 NFT digital pin collection.
God damn it.
You can claim a legendary or epic pin showcasing the Paris 2024 mascot holding a flag and waving. You can add these digital gems to your collection through Magic Eden's friendly NFT marketplace as part of Coinbase's on-chain summer event. Be sure to have ETH L2 base-supported wallet to secure yours today.
No, there are so many things wrong with that.
Oh,
the whole point of NFTs was that it was supposed to be a unique thing, which is why NFTs were dumb, because it's digital stuff and like copy paste exists. God damn.
Oh, so you can compete in the events and also looks like there's an idol like city builder.
What?
Yes, expand your Olympic venues, take the reins of a thriving city and enjoy the satisfaction of creation that celebrates the spirit of competition. Surround your Olympic venues with shops to boost attendance and maximize success. From charming cafes to iconic stadiums, every victory unlocks new upgrade options. And yes, then there's this giant section here for the digital pins.
I do not like this, Sam. I do not like NFTs.
So far, there have been 148,722 digital pins minted, according to this Magic Eden wallet.
Damn it.
Yep, 148,000 of them are already out in the wild. Yep. If you want to try this out, you can get it. It's a free-to-play game.
I do not, in any way, shape, or form, want to do that.
You could get it on Apple or Android, or you could play it on the PC from the Epic Games Store, though screenshots show the same touch controls and basic visuals as the smartphone version. How is that supposed to work on the PC?
Don't know. Don't care. Not going to go into it. Don't want it.
Still don't understand.
Rather, it doesn't exist.
Still don't know. Oh, you could buy exclusive outfits pack for the Olympic game.
Andy, why? Why are you torturing me?
For $55.
Why are you torturing? $55 fucking dollars?
That's what it says on the Epic Game Store. Hold on. I gotta send this to you.
No, you don't. You don't need to send it to me. I don't need to. Oh, God. No. Don't. Do you remember when people went, like, fucking mental at the, like, $15 horse armor? To the point of where, like, the studio issued an apology? What happened to that?
Oh, how naive we were back then.
Where did we lose that fight?
Okay, so it's $55, right? For 11 outfits. That means each of these copy and pasted outfits that looks like somebody, just took white t-shirt, pasted logo on t-shirt, would be $5.
Yep. And, like, kudos to the artists who made them. Like, that's great, but god damn it.
Oh, the game is currently rated 3.6 stars out of 5. Where are the reviews on the Epic Game Store? Where are the reviews? Oh, here we go. Epic player ratings. No, I don't actually write anything down. Am I going to have to go to the iOS store or the Android store to read these reviews? But yes, no,
Probably.
There's no Sonic and Mario, and I feel like they kind of got out while they're okay.
I mean, the IOC, I'm sure, is getting what they want to get out of this.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly disgusted.
Oh, just wait until next year when the esports Olympic Games are debuted in Saudi Arabia.
I'm already disgusted.
Yep. Well, anything on there that you want to cleanse your palate with, or should we hit the randoms?
Delta might sue CrowdStrike and Microsoft.
As they should, because
they lost like $500 million.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. How many stories did I hear from people, especially people on like...
I had coworkers who were stranded.
Yeah, my brother was stranded.
Excuse me.
And not only that, it was like he was stranded for a couple of days.
Yeah, it wasn't we had this issue and we got it resolved and everything got back together after like a day or two. It was like a week and a half. The Sixth Circuit Court has blocked net neutrality.
Yeah.
Which surprises no one.
Nope.
In any way, shape, or form.
What was kind of surprising, though, was in their stay, they specifically stated that this really should be a congressional issue.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, yeah, no, I don't think anybody's going to argue that, but good luck trying to get this through Congress.
Yeah, especially this Congress.
Yes, especially this Congress. But yeah, I still love it where they're like, yeah, we're going to put a pause on this, to handle it. But
it's a stay. It's just a stay. It'll go. It's just while it works its way through the courts.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with the most recent thing about from the Supreme Court that
Chevron.
Federal, that the experts can no longer determine the laws. It's fucking stupid. Really need to change the court.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, randos?
Yes.
Your review, sir?
Yes. I would like to review my current app of choice called Rooms and Exits.
Usually one has the other.
Yes. So it's I've been trying to find different, would you call them adventure games?
Yeah, sure. Modern takes on adventure. I mean, they're escape rooms.
Yes.
Which
yes.
I guess, in a sense, are adventure games.
But a lot of the ones that I was looking on their escape rooms are a lot of the hidden object games where, you have to go and find,
tap everything.
Yes.
Until you find the items that you need, and then tap everything again to use the items.
Yeah. This one doesn't have that.
Okay.
You still have to figure out, okay, I've got a hammer. What am I supposed to do with this hammer? And, and there's sometimes you can actually, what I loved about this one, I actually got 2 items. I got a paint bucket and I got a brush. And I actually had to combine the 2 of them together in order to actually paint what I was supposed to paint.
Okay.
Because I was like, okay, I've got paint. And I tried putting paint on there. I'm like,
and
it's like,
the brush.
I need the brush.
It has some multi-step solutions.
Yes. So this one it's a free game. There were actually a couple of times where I actually had to take hints just because I was trying to solve the puzzle differently than what they were asking for.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, it's been a good game, and they've got I'm just doing one of them right now. Let me pull up the app right now. Yes, okay, sure. Oh yeah, because it's after midnight. I'm almost done with this current one. I'm on 82%, and that's 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 11 levels in that one, and that's one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different games in here, each with multiple levels. So it's scratching the itch right now, and I'm happy with that, and it's a free game. So
okay,
if you like the escape room type things, this could be a game for you. And it's like I said, it's free. So if you don't like it, just uninstall it and walk away. Any questions?
Are there
ads?
Ads?
Yes, there are. Because the hints cost coins. So if you use hints, you can refill your coins by watching ads. You get an ad at the end of a level once you're done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if there's a way to turn off the ads.
Are there difficulties with the different rooms?
Not really. There's nothing you spend energy to get into the room, and then if you could do that room without any problems, you get your 50 coins for finishing the room. There's no ad breaks during the middle of the room, which is really nice. The story is interesting. This one I'm kind of, very interested to see how it resolves itself, but it's the first of the 5, so I haven't seen what the other storylines are like, but there's an actual storyline that is better than some of these other puzzle games where you're just like, really, why am I doing this?
Right.
I don't have, my goal is to fix the puzzle, but why?
But why? What's the story behind it?
Mm-hmm. What's the thread that connects all these puzzles together? So yes, Rooms and Exits available on both iOS and Android. So that is my review.
Okay.
Random topic rolled ahead of time. All right, I'm just going to read this to you as it was submitted. Derlict biplane burning in your backyard as Jeff Black plays Ring Around the Rosseys on an electric guitar from your roof.
Wait, is he in my backyard, or is he... The plane is in the backyard.
Yes, the plane is in the backyard on fire, and it's a biplane. On
fire, because it's burning.
Yes.
And some dude named Jeff Black.
Who is there an artist?
I presume he meant Jack Black.
No, there is an artist. American singer-songwriter Jeff Black.
Playing Ring Around the Rosie on an electric guitar from my roof.
Mm-hmm.
Chat GPT, write random words.
Yeah, this feels like something that, you know, like Chat GPT 2.
No, not even. 2? I don't know what to do with this, which is probably what I would say if it actually happened.
You would just come home, there'd be a biplane somehow gotten into your backyard.
My backyard's not that big, like, it's a hill. So I'd be really concerned about where this plane is and this fire that it's burning. Like, the first thing I'm doing is calling 911 and then trying to convince them it's not a joke. Probably call 911 and be like, look, there are two things going on. There's an airplane burning in my backyard and there's a dude on my roof. I need both the police and the fire department out here, and possibly an ambulance because I don't know where the pilot for that plane is.
Yes.
And from there, I just, like, I don't know, get some earplugs.
I don't know, like...
I shout out to Mr. Black and say, can you please stop playing?
Did Jeff Black actually ever do Ring Around? He's listed as alternative folk. And he's a singer-songwriter, so he might have done some folk tunes. Let's see.
And just please stop. Like, do you need help getting off the roof? Why are you on my roof? I never gave you permission to get on my roof. If you fall, that's not on me.
Well, the closest I've got is Jeff Black performing a song called Circles Around Me. Concerts.
If it were Jack Black, I'd be a little more excited.
Yes.
Jack Black feels like it, like, he seems like a really cool guy. I don't know who Jeff Black is.
Yeah, no, I don't know either. According to Wikipedia, I know some people who have covered his songs, but never heard of him. So, yeah.
So if the goal of this random topic was Stump Dave... Congrats. You win. I don't know what to do with this.
That would be my response. You would walk into my backyard and be like, I don't know.
You have a giant oak in your backyard.
Yes, I know. So how did that biplane get in there?
Did someone, like, drag it in and then light it on fire?
But how? They would have to lift it over the fence.
A crane.
Through what, my neighbors?
They lifted it.
Like over the garage and then set it on fire?
Like, maybe?
Did somebody
built a tower crane very quickly?
That, or they brought it in piece by piece like it's a frickin'...
It is a derelict.
Yes.
So, like, it doesn't need to be in one piece.
Nope. Now in my hand I'm picturing there was the guys at that World War II prisoner of war camp who tried to build an airplane in the attic of the place that they were being detained.
I'm not familiar with this.
Oh. World War II POW glider? Glider would probably
be a lot easier to make a glider than an airplane, but also I wouldn't necessarily want to, like, strap myself to it. Sure enough.
Colditz Cock was a glider built by British POWs during World War II for an escape attempt from Olflag IVC, also known as
4-C.
4-C, also known as the Colditz Castle prison camp in Germany.
Prisoner of war camp in Germany. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Never got the chance to actually try it, but if I remember correctly, there was a Nova episode where people actually built a replica, and because they were curious to see if it actually would, work.
Have survived?
Yeah.
How would they have gotten it out?
If I remember correctly, they had to disassemble the wings. And then they would, supposedly they would take the wing, I think it would, they take the wings apart, fit it out the window, reattach the wings, and they were going to put a bunch of tables up on the roof to actually have a runway long enough to do it. It was completely bonkers idea, but...
Yeah, it was.
The Allied High Commander had encouraged the building of the glider in order to divert the energies of the prisoners from descending into boredom and dedom. But yeah, so
Okay.
that's the thing, yeah. He tried to build a glider to escape prison. So,
Yep.
well, you've learned something today, Dave.
Several things.
Yes.
Not all of them are ones I wish I knew.
Oh, well, on that's a wrap. This has been another episode of the Random Access Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, corrections, suggestions, remarks, reviews, rebukes, retorts, or just rants, feel free to contact us. You can find us on Twitter at RAPodcast, or send us an email at mail@rapodcast.net. Thank you for listening.